All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Deep Art, and we here with another video because we want to expand on this point that we just talked about in terms of realigning your central nervous system with your peripheral nervous system. Because it's easy for you to not understand. It's easy for you to probably do things and have your body out of alignment or disalignment with your own mind, and this can come from you doing things or committing to activities, but your conscious mind not properly analyzing or properly specifically understanding of what it just did. So in the last video over on Deep Rhythm, we talked about how the central nervous system takes information that the peripheral nervous system sends from an outlet and then translates it back to the peripheral nervous system through the form of the peripheral nervous system. Meaning that when you commit an activity, the central nervous system finds solutions from within whatever outlet that you're in, and then sends it back to that outlet sends it back to your peripheral nervous system through the form of that outlet. So consciously, if you don't write down or document what you just did and the effects that it's going to have on your body, you may easily you may easily operate, or your body be functioning and operating unconscious or separate from your mind, right? So meaning that your mind, because within the outlet that you did, the information that got stored, right? It didn't get stored in your mind. It didn't get stored in your conscious mind or your central nervous system. It got stored in your body. It got stored in the activity itself. So that means that if you don't consciously document what you just did, it's just going to be stored in your body and your body's functioning, and you're not going to be and not in your conscious mind. That's why it's so important. As a trainer, we implement things like cool downs, and we implement things, cool downs and meditation and things like this after a workout. But this stuff this is very crucial, because now we're consciously becoming aware and processing in our conscious mind what we just did, right? And that is why cool downs, meditation, and documenting what you just did from within an outlet is so very important and so very crucial, right? And it's so important. I want to say it's almost so important from within any outlet you do to literally take time a cool down. To meditate from that outlet that you just did, right? So it's important to have a brief moment of reflection or cool down or meditation or documentation of any outlet that you do, in order for it to reassert itself back into your central nervous system, right? And that is the important thing to understand, right? Because like I said, it's that easy for you to get disconnected from your own body, or your mind to get disconnected from your own body, just by doing things and then not being able to consciously understand the magnitude of what you do. So it's very important to be careful about what you do in terms of training. As an athlete, what I'm saying, as a basketball player, we grind and we build in certain functions, but at the same time, we do it unconsciously. We don't really necessarily take the time to consciously understand what it is that we're actually building. And as a basketball player, for real, imagine at the end of your career, imagine you have a traumatic experience, and then or just as a basketball player, period, or even just how you feel about certain things, and then just at the end of the day, you come out of that outlet, or you come out of that functionality, right? And now it's over with. Now it's consciously, if you don't consciously understand, or if your mind is not consciously understanding exactly of everything that you did, then that is going to lead to some major dysfunctioning within your own mind. Oh my God. And within your own conscious mind. Because now you just did all this stuff, but you didn't consciously take the time to actually you didn't take the time to consciously observe, meditate, and process everything that you did, so that it hits back to your conscious mind, or hits back to your central nervous system. So, man, man, there's so many ways I can go with this video right here. So many ways, man. But I'm gonna keep it basketball. I'm gonna keep it basketball for now. Like when you man, like when you go through a traumatic experience, man. I hate to do this, but imagine somebody getting locked up, right? And you get locked up, you experience a bunch of things, and you get locked up, and you experience so much trauma, so many traumatizing things, and it's one thing to go through it when you're in the process of going through it, because these are things that you're in environments that like I said before, the peripheral nervous system is sending off signals to your central nervous system. And your central nervous system is processing that information that the peripheral nervous system sends off, and then formulating solutions and translating it back to the peripheral nervous system through the form of the peripheral nervous system. So now you have all these different types of you have all these different types of functionalities or whatever that might be going on within your own body that you're not consciously aware of. One, because you might not even know that it happened, and two, you might not have took the time to really meditate and actually take the time to process, those spaces that you've been in, right? And when you don't do that, like, your body can be running on autopilot, and it's almost like, for instance, you have to take the time, to really analytically, critically, critically think out and really assess how, the spaces that you've been in compared to where you're at currently or where you're at now, in order for you to be able to make conscious decisions in terms of how you move, right? Like if you was in jail or locked up or whatever, and your peripheral nervous system is sending off all these signals to your central nervous system, and these are getting processed back to the body is going to be moving and functioning in a certain way, not just in jail, but outside of jail as well. The body is going to be having these, little signals that it sends off, or that it moves to, or just patterns of functioning, or breathing, or maybe anything that it might have that the central nervous system is not consciously aware of. So now, you'd have to get consciously aware of. You have to really take the time to really assess and get consciously aware of all the things that happen, and what are all the effects of those things that happen, in order for you to be able to really take that central, take your central nervous system, and write this stuff down in order to process it back to your central nervous system. You have to literally analyze this stuff and write it down, and then compare it to the outlet or environment that you're currently at. In order for you to then be able to take the two, in order for you to make conscious decisions, right? Based on the information from the two sides of where you're at and where you was at. And that's the thing that we miss a lot in terms of our central nervous system and our brains functioning compared to our bodies functioning, right? Right? Our bodies functioning compared to what we actually think, it is off or is messed up, because, we don't really take the time to really process in our minds what our body, has within it, And that's the major difference. It's not just when you commit yourself to an outlet. It's not just it gets stored within your central nervous system or whatever, and now you find a solution to it. No, it gets stored from the peripheral nervous system, sending signals off. The central nervous system takes it, translates it, creates solutions, and then sends it back to the peripheral nervous system through the form of the outlet itself, right? Or through the peripheral nervous system, and now it's stored in your body. The information and solutions that you found within the central nervous system is in the body. It's being processed in the body. It's not in the conscious mind no more. It's in the body and it's active. You know what I'm saying? And actually functioning. So that's why you write shit down, in order for you to be able to send it back to your central nervous system, in order for you to be conscious of what you're doing and how your body's moving, and be able to know why your body is moving, the specific way it is. So this is an actual process that it actually takes. This ain't just, you just living in kumbaya or whatever, just doing whatever. Like, nah, like this is an actual literal process that it takes in order for you to actually be able to function properly and be in sync with, your body. You know what I'm saying? And that is the crazy thing that we really have to understand, because imagine all of the spaces that you've been into that, could have had a huge or major effect on your peripheral nervous system that you're not even consciously aware of, because you didn't take the time to process that stuff, right? And everything that happened and the effects of that stuff. So literally, this is like a whole new technical function in itself, or a whole new like league in itself. Just being able to write down the outlets that you go into and being able to process that back into your central nervous system. That way you're consciously aware of how your body's functioning, and your body's just not functioning, and you don't know what's going on. Nobody else nobody else know what the hell going on, and all this other type of stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? And in terms of, that's, that's the point I wanted to make, right? That's the point I wanted to make. So of course, being able to understand this, I think it's very crucial. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the important thing right there. Like, like when you have problems within, problems within your own body, and within your own this is what you need to do, right? This is what you need to do. But anyway, I'm gonna conclude this video right here. Check out part 2. I'm gonna be dropping part 2 very shortly on this topic right here. But anyway, peace, love, and hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all can take from this video and stay tuned for the next one. We out.